This is your WWF news of a Wednesday morning. Obviously, while the geopolitical events and escalation is fermenting, globally speaking, now and then I want to take a break from that and deal with some local issues where I live. Do Italian workers feel betrayed by their trade unions? The answer is yes. And why? Because the trade union has become more politically woke, as you should say, and tend to be the teacher's pet of administration, whatever who employs them. And when it comes to renewing contracts, it's always done years afterwards, and at a really bad conditions, which is only in favour of the establishment, basically. Really, contracts 3-4 years before the expiring date really should have a new contract in your pocket. And they always do these contracts, and whatever the establishment says, take it or leave it, they just bow down by your command, basically. Well, I'm not going to say it. You see these trade union leaders, where I work, they do it as a profession, a bit like politicians. Do you ever see them work? No, always walking around, trendy, phone in hand, blah, 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 from a little bit PR there, and so on. And when it comes to the real problems, not chicken shit things, are because the boss didn't give me a day off, and you call this stupid person, deal with it. It's just chicken shit rubbish. Should be the working conditions of the workers, how they've been treated, the wages, very little interest. An example is, this has eradicated standard of behaviour of the trade unions, especially one of them, I'm not going to mention because they're just a bunch of cocksuckers. And whoever is a member of them is more stupid than they are. They always find sheep to lead the herd over the cliff. This is the thing. There is a thing which is called contract of approximation. It's a whole series of things bunched into it. The right for the employer to sack people when they think they're in the phantomatic crisis, work less hours to create more jobs. The question is, where I work, it's not a question you have to create more jobs. You have to keep them there. And they're just only favouring them, part-time, less right workers. You know what they've done? They call for a work assembly, and they say, we have signed this, and then they explain it to them. And then after say, there's not much work around, owning defence and pharmaceutical companies work for them. Yes. I don't give a fuck about them. It's the situation in your patch you should be concerned about. Reconversion to that type of production, military. Work is guaranteed minimum for 10 years for these industries, minimum, and they're working 3 shifts. And while we don't know the fate of this famous Italian company, what it's going to be like, because obviously the new owners, after the death of their dad 3 years ago, and the depreciation of the value of the company, well, they lost $400 million in asset value of the company. Or it's just a stratagem to pay more taxes, because inheritance tax at the end of 2028 has to be paid in its due, and they want to pay more than less they can. And going back to that workers' assembly, Before you sign something, consult the workers. Put out a vote. If the majority gives you the mandate to proceed in a certain way, okay. You do not sign and afterwards you say, we have done this and this in the name of the same jobs. These people throughout years, they destroyed jobs and even left a fucking finger to protect the rights of workers. It's the same thing of the pandemic. Introduction of the Green Pass. There was one trade union says, oh, we have to make it all mandatory, this and that. And the Green Pass is the only way to work in a healthy environment. But it's a load of horse shit. They're horse shit like the establishment, and they're horse shit like politicians. They're the same kettle of fish. But there are only a few minor trade unions which probably broken away from one of these trade unions because they see there was a political interference. And obviously they were only interested what they should do, which is legit. They're the only ones who seem to be a thorn in the side of the establishment. And like once upon a time, trade unions used to be really strong. They used to obtain with general strikes, picketing, and all that stuff. Those times are gone. We do strikes for Gaza, do strikes for the murders of the latest murder victim of what they call femminicidio here in Italy. Those are the things we'll never ever resolve with a strike. You have to be a trade union and look out for workers' rights, not going on the fence or one political spectrum or the other. And obviously one of these trade union leaders, Landina the CGL, was interviewed on the Telefilm, I think about a month ago. I don't know, it happened some time ago. And I don't know, I wasn't what, I think it was Lily Grubert, even she's a lefty as well. And she said, how many working contracts with success you have done? And she raised up a particular contract which that trade union signed for 5 hour law for workers. You should be defending the rights of these workers, not inciting employers to do slave labouring and all that stuff. Oh, we had to do it, otherwise they would have pulled out. Who gives a fuck? They would have transferred, and they would have continued in another country, probably at the same level of pay as well. So these trade unions are just blackmailed with this horseshit. Will take away delocation, all that stuff, and we're going to start sacking people. But at the end of the day, they will start sacking people when the going gets tough, and they continue to exploit the welfare system to keep people on temporary leave for months and months on end at work, hire people for part-time to do the jobs which those people they kept at home. So it's all a money-making, filling their pocket scheme, exploiting the systems, basically. With accomplice with the trade unions of Italy, where I work. Another thing, you do not see trade unions go around all day not doing nothing. This is a typical Italian behaviourism type of world. But mind you, when I see other trade union shop stewards, when they finish activity of an organisation, they return back to work. But these people don't. And plus, in the last elections, which I used to remember one of them, which is just sinking in consensus. It was lucky was voted to be still a shop steward, just to go around like of a fucking cow in bed with the enemy, which used to be his old trade union. And you know, people tell me how this person behaves is absolutely disgusting. Even him and she has sold out to the establishment. Practically, he sold himself to the devil. But one of these days, the devil will come and collect his debt, your soul. Another trade union leader I knew, she had to undergo some juridical prosecution, which she was found guilty, and she was sentenced to pay fines and costs for slandering a member at work of another trade union, and tried to cause harm that person. Probably under pride it didn't work. This person managed to record it. How stupid she is. And I would like to say, the members of her organisation, which she is head of, do you know your trade union leader is a jailbird? She was found guilty of a particular felony. Do you believe? She's not going to tell them. Washers will lose consent. Well, they're so stupid enough to be a member of them, they will continue even to the last moment. What a clown world my gaff is regarding trade unions.